guys, welcome back to Simply Basic Recipes. This is my last Halloween episode for this season, and I'm going to make it a good one because I'm going to do a Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger cake for you guys. I'm really excited because Nightmare on Elm Street has always been my favorite horror movie franchise, and Freddy Krueger has always been my favorite horror movie villain, so I'm really excited to do this cake. I'm going to do a 6-inch 3-layer cake. And I'm going to use a cake mix, white cake mix, because I'm going to color the layers to match Freddy Krueger's sweater. You can do whatever you want. If you want to do a homemade cake, that's fine, or a cake mix. I've also got some black and white candy melts because I'm going to make some gray candy to do the knives for his fingers. And I've also got a squirt bottle that we're going to use for that. I've also got some red sparkle gel, icing gel, or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly what this is. It's like an icing gel for cakes or cupcakes, but you can use whatever you want to make blood, that's fine. I've also got some red and green and brown icing gel colors. Got some vanilla extract, some butter, and some powdered sugar because I'm going to make my buttercream frosting from scratch. And I've also made a template here of Freddy Krueger's knives for his fingers that we're going to stick in the cake. You can print one out, or you can just draw it up if you want to. Anything is fine. But I did put some parchment paper over the paper that I drew it on to make sure that the candy does not stick whenever it dries and hardens and I go to take it off. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to do this cake for you all. Okay, I've got my cake mix separated. I've got the most in the bigger bowl because I'm going to do 2 layers of red and 1 layer of the dark green. So in order to get a darker red color, I'm going to put a good bit of red gel dye in here, and I'm also going to add a touch of brown, but not a whole lot. We want to try to get it a deep red color. Okay, that looks good. I believe it's going to cook a little bit darker than that also, so I think that's going to turn out really good. Now we're going to do the same for the green. I'm going to put a good bit of green in here. We want it to be almost brown because Freddy Krueger's sweater is not a bright green. So we're going to put a little more brown in this one along with the green. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, I think this is perfect. Now we're going to get this in the cake pans and bake it in the oven. Okay, I've got my cake colored and separated. I'm just going to bake it as per the box directions, and when we get it out, I will show you how to decorate it. In the meantime, while the cake's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and melt my candy melts and make my molds for the knives. So I've just put some black and white Wilton candy melts in the bowl. I'm going to microwave these until they melt, and I've cut it half and half with black and white. And hopefully this is going to make a pretty nice gray color. We'll see. Okay, it made a pretty good gray color. So I'm going to just pour this over my template here. And hopefully it doesn't run too much. I'm just going to try to pour it in the shape of his knives. Now we're going to put this in the fridge for just about 10 minutes or so, and it should cool off and firm up so we can take it off. Okay, the knives have cooled off, and you can go back and smooth this out with your finger once they've cooled off. So we'll do that in just a little bit, but they should just pop right off the parchment paper like this. And I'm actually going to make another set of knives, just because I want to put something on the back of this so it's not flat. So we're going to have 2 sides to it. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get this to stick together. These candy melts will also act as a glue because they harden like this. So we're going to just put a little bit up the middle. And then we will stick the opposite side onto the first side. Just like that. And then you can stick them back in the fridge for just about 10 minutes or so, and they should firm up. Oh, the cake colors turned out perfect, you guys. Now I'm just going to level it, and this will be a much quicker way to level it than having to get out my Wilton cake leveler. So we're just going to do it this way. Okay, an easier way that I've found to ice the middle layers of a cake to make sure everything is even is to put your icing in a Ziploc baggie and just go around the middle with a round Wilton cake tip, whatever the biggest cake tip you have is. And that way you don't have to worry about crumbs, you don't have to worry about one side being higher than the other once your cake is leveled, because this is going to leave the same amount of frosting in every part of the cake. Okay, the cake is pretty smoothed out, so I'm just going to go around the bottom with the round cake tip and put some type of a little border there to make it look more smoothed out. So I'm just going to put some little dots around the bottom. Okay, I've got the knives here and I've smoothed the tips out with my finger. So we're just going to stick these in the top of the cake. About that far. And maybe stick this one over here on this side. Alright. Now let's make our blood. Okay, to get a decent blood color, I'm going to take this red sparkle gel and I'm going to put a lot of it in here because we definitely want a lot of blood. And take some of your brown food coloring, but don't put a lot. Just start with a drop or two because you can always add more. And stir it around. You should get a deep red color which looks just like a nice blood color. It'll look really good on the white cake. Alright, when you're done mixing your blood, you can take a little Wilton paintbrush or just a clean regular paintbrush. We want to paint around the holes here. Now what I'm going to do is write a quote from Freddy Krueger on the top of the cake. And I looked online and a lot of the quotes from Freddy Krueger are not really appropriate. So I think I found one. It's just going to say, "Come to Freddy." And we're going to write that on the front. But you're more than welcome to use one of the inappropriate ones. I'm just not going to do that for YouTube. This doesn't have to be perfect. We want it to look kind of messy. So it's just going to do what we can. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger cake just as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. I love this cake. I think it's awesome. I had a really good time making it. Check out the knife fingers here and all the blood. It looks pretty awesome. And I will cut the cake. Well, I guess you saw it at the beginning of the video. I'll post a picture and let you see what the inside of the cake looks like after I cut it. Alright you guys, I hope you have a good Halloween and I will see you next weekend on Simply Basic Recipes. Thanks so much for watching guys. Bye.